Hey guys. So I have today found myself in kind of a funny situation that I figured I would share because it could be applicable to someone who's visiting Costa Rica or has moved here or is thinking about moving here. So I'm planning a trip back to see my family in July. So I went on to go, well, I've done a, it's funny because I just did a post about border runs and I noted in the post that to make sure that your passport is not within 6 months of expiring if you plan to do your border run. So I plan to go down to the border next Thursday. And so I needed to book a plane ticket anyways just to come go see this June, by the way. So my plan was to go to the border June 21st. I think I'm due on the 26th. So anyways, I was going to book my plane ticket the end of July, actually July 21st. I'm going to go back and visit my parents, taking the baby. We're going to go back to the United States for about a month, see everyone. And as I was booking my plane ticket, it said, it was asking for my passport information and it asked for the expiry date. So I looked at it and my expiration on my passport is July 8th. So I'm due to renew my visa by June 26th. My passport expires July 8th, and I would like to leave on the 21st of July. So what am I going to do? I contacted the embassy. I guess if you find yourself in this situation, I guess the last time I did my border run, I didn't have any issues because my passport was over 6 months of expiring, and I just honestly should have looked. And so I'm going to go to the embassy on Monday. I have called them. But the best thing to do is just to call the embassy. They can issue you an emergency passport. So let's pretend if you're here in Costa Rica and your passport gets lost or stolen. If it's lost or stolen, they can issue you an emergency passport the same day. The directions when I called the phone said that you need to provide proof of traveling within 48 hours to apply for the emergency passport. So honestly, I'm just going to go and see what happens and see. And so if you want to get a passport renewed, which is pretty easy here in Costa Rica, but it takes 10 days. So you need to go to the embassy, go to your appointment, go to have, apply to have your passport renewed, and then you go back 10 days later to pick it up. So 10 days later, it's not, I don't think it's going to be possible. So just a little tip that I should have learned and I should know by living here is to make sure your passport's not going to expire. Make sure you're taking care of that so that when you're thinking about your next border run, which should be like in a little over a week, that you're not going, oh my God, I can't do a border run because they might not let me back in. So I will make a blog post on this information and give a little update about what happens and what the embassy says about it. So I'm thinking maybe they'll issue me an emergency passport, which they did tell me that I could leave Costa Rica. I could ask for it to be valid for 6 months. So I could get an emergency passport on Monday when I go, and I can still go to Panama on Thursday and do my border run with my emergency passport. Or maybe, I don't know, let me see what they say. Maybe I can just apply for my new passport and go back 10 days later, which is obviously just like a lot of hassle with the baby. And 10 days later, as of now, is when I'm supposed to be going to Panama. So again, I'll update you guys and let you know. So just kind of the lesson here is to make sure you're checking your expiration dates. But if your passport is lost or stolen, don't worry. You can go right to the embassy, same day. You may not even need an appointment. I think, they just ask you to get there at 8 a.m., bring your another form of ID, and you'll definitely need to call, and I can put the number in the blog as well in case that ever happens to you. And yeah, they can issue you an emergency passport same day. So it's not a pretty crazy process. Honestly, I've talked to a lot of friends and other expats. It's a lot easier to renew your passport here than in the United States sometimes. So hopefully this little tidbit of information someone else can learn from and not make the same mistake.